embrace the possibilities.
Let's make the future for 360 film.
I think we should do our cities and buildings differently. This is my message. Think.
Development for me means increase in complexity.
It's a simple addition for a designer, but it saves a lot of time in practice.
Highest risk is not so clever.
So this could be interesting for you as well.
I used to work now for Nedcam in marine composite production environment. It's not always about what you do, it's also about how you actually get to do it. I'm talking about the development of a new motor yacht, which we've gone through over the last few years, and especially this year. It's just finished and launched at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, and it's I focus on the production part of it and how to give this 3D generated model hands and feet, how to get it done nicely. It's a Zealander 55, in which we were involved making all the models. It's classic lines, elegant yacht built to Dutch craftsmanship, and I'll use it to explain my project and just the details which you can pick out and how to make life easy. It starts with an early decision on making all the inner linings of its wheelhouse and all the underside of the deck covered with separate liners. Many of you might know this takes a lot of extra tooling, but it also makes production very efficient and complex. You need an enthusiastic team with very good tools, but everybody needs to try and understand who will be next in this process. How can you make his or her life easier? And definitely trying to get into their heads. One example is simple. It's a laminate booklet. Instead of just giving you a list of fibers which go in, you can tell in different stages which laminate goes in at what stage and make it into a plan for the guys on the shop floor, not to worry about any of the others. Without much extra effort, if the core and the single skin areas are in, you can import that model into 3D flow simulation and have time left for some release angle analysis. Practical idea is if you add little lines like that in your flanges, if you engineer all of that in there, you're just helping the guy with the dust mask on his, grinding off all the edges. It's a simple addition for a designer, but it saves a lot of time in practice. Same as with drawing a small red block underneath your tooling surface. It's not much, it's very simple to do, but it tells everybody else in the process exactly how it's to be sent and make sure it's not milled the other way around or molded the other way around. It's just simple, tiny little things. As a designer and production designer, I'm very happy and delighted to receive such kind of models. If I know I get these models I receive them in a better way. We have our 3-axis machines, adding little flanges to the design and for the mold maker, so he doesn't have to just template it out all by himself, and we just produce that. It just helps going through production in a process like that. Here, there's a guy who needs to put all these parts together, and if you could just simply add these little notches to your different moldings, you're helping out these guys on the shop floor. It's not much in design, but it helps a lot going through the whole process. We reduce our risks by modeling our infusions and complex infusions 3D on screen to make sure that in the first shot we have the best strategy to go with and we have a successful infusion in the first product to work with. As I've got a 3D background for flow simulation, it doesn't always happen, and time didn't allow us this time. So we had some cowboy attack on getting this hull infused. How are we going to do this time? So by going through all the risks we had and picking out a simple infusion of a panel all the way up to the height where we had to go, that was a simple way of checking your gel times, and still we pulled off a very good infusion of a 1.3 ton without simulating it. But it's years of cooperation, working with these guys in previous projects like Van Dutch, where we did the same thing. And this allows you to blindly trust on their routine and competence of going through this. So once you start designing it, and they can easily work with your plans, and that's exactly what I did. Another simple idea is just kitting the core material in a composite hull and deck. Often in the first boat it's always jigged out and templated, and this can all be done automatically. Some of you might know when you're in a hull mold, spraying with your, trying to attach the dry cloth. This way you end up stoned at the end of the day with your nostrils clogged up. And now we use the material which you can just sticker in. It just makes life easy for the guys down there. So the result is worth it. As many women like. They're nice when they're undressed, and the inner linings, they definitely look the part. It makes a clean, easy finish. Although naked she's beautiful, but dressed she will be, no doubt, she'll be a lady on the waters. So please people, think about who's next. Who's next in the process? How can you make his or her life easy? And that's exactly what I'm trying to highlight here. So thank you very much for your attention.